Hello and welcome everyone. Today it is bitterly cold outside. I've got the heater going here to warm my hands up. Freezing. Anyway, today's wee project is going to be a pear. A pear pears. I'm going to have here glued up is birch ply, the good stuff, with a piece of I think it's oak sandwiched in between two pieces. One piece there and one piece there. So four pieces of birch ply, one, two, three, four, and two pieces of oak. I'm saying it's oak because I'm not too sure, but it looks and turns pretty similar. I got this given to me, this big piece, and it was laying on somebody's shed for a long time, so I don't really know uh, what it was. And they didn't know. It was that long ago. So I took it off their hands and decided to cut it up into uh, different pieces and make uh, something out of it. There was a big shake running down the centre of it. Now the piece was about four by four, and it's about a metre high, and it was 4 inches thick. But there was a shake running down the middle of it, and I'm looking for my ruler here. I done a tidy up yesterday, and can't find anything. Um, it's always the way when you want something and you go to look for it. Oh, there's it there hiding. I I'm just going to mark this up roughly because I've nothing to really centered off. So what I have here, I just fix this camera for you. I'm just going to draw the points to point roughly because it's not square. Uh, I have a piece of birch ply stuck onto the bottom as a waste block. So I'm going to turn a tenon on that because I don't want to encroach into my size of my pear. The pear size uh, works out around about, oh, get my tape. It's 4 inches with the waste block on the bottom. It's just under 4.5 inches. So I've got two here. So I've already turned a couple of pears out of this, and it turned quite well. I was surprised how well the birch ply turned because I did do a bowl a few months ago out of birch ply, and it was a bit of a nightmare because it dulls the tools down. But this seemed to go very easy, and I don't know why. Maybe it was because I was cutting the the grain the opposite direction. And what I mean by that was I have right, I have the grain running where the sandwich together running up this way. Uh, I done a project on the bowls and I just planted it that way. So I was cutting in the end grain of all the pieces glued together. So this say is far easier. Get a wee spin. Doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to firstly turn a tenon in this and put it into the chuck because it's a lot safer that way. I'm just going to get my face shield because the wee splinters coming off this will tear the face off you. So just excuse me the noise while I fit my helmet. Right, so I've got my face shield on. We'll just get the roughing gauge here. Just check our speed, safety in mind. Don't start your lathe up until you've turned the knob down, because what can happen when you first mount the piece, especially if it's a big piece and you turn the lathe on, next thing you're wearing it and you don't want that. So that seems to be spinning quite well. And again, you want to get your stance right for when you're at the lathe. You don't want to be walking or moving all over the place. Get your stance right so you're not off balance and you can move your body back and forward. And just take gentle cuts from one end to the other. And again, check your tailstock. We're tightening this because the vibration of the tool cutting on the wood will make it loose. And just a slight dovetail to towards the bottom for your chuck. Sorry about this. My helmet's not sitting right. Right. We'll take that out of there and remove the stab sander from the chuck. Right, that's now on the chuck, and just check it for alignment. It should match up with the hole, and it does. If for any reason, when you put something between centers and you put a tenon on something on your tailstock, you bring it up and it doesn't line up, either one or two things: your tenon's not straight across this way and it's laying on a slant, I could throw it off. Or the other reason, it could be your headstock. If you have a swiveling headstock and it moves, it could be just out of alignment slightly. So you want to check that, as long as it's safe to do so. First of all, we want to get some shape into this. So I'm only taking timber away. So we've got some shape into this now, so I'll change over to my spindle gouge and we'll start to refine the final shape. Changing to my round nose scraper here. Again. Shape doesn't really matter because a pear is all shapes anyway, so as long as it's got a roundish volume and it tapers up to the top, I think that's alright. So we'll have a wee look at that, and that looks alright. So we'll sand this up and I'll then remove the tailstock, finish the top of that, and then we'll part that off. Right. That lets me in at the bottom because you're not going to get the very bottom. You're going to have to do that with my hand sanding it. But so you want to get it as good as you can before you part that off. And you can see why I added the glue block to the bottom of that. If you take that off this, it's going to reduce the size of this. And I'm trying to keep them all the same. So all these pieces of wood are roughly the same height. So they will sort of sit standing up in a bowl, uh, leaning towards each other, uh, like forming a three diamond effect, uh, in a bowl. And I had a couple of bowls sitting in the house there that I put the last three into, and they just work well in the size of bowl I put them into. So this needs a wee bit more sand. There's a couple of wee lines here. A wee bit of hand sanding with the grain. So we'll get a wee taste of Yorkshire grit and just give it a wee run over with it. Take any wee sanding marks, the sandpaper left, if any. And make sure you get it all off again. Any residue before you put your finish on. And when the colour stops transferring onto your kitchen towel, you'll know that all the Yorkshire grit has been removed. All it is an abrasive. So I'll have a wee look at that, and you can see they look well. You had to do it with a birch ply, the good stuff. Uh, we found a place, uh, a manufacturing place that does signs, and you can imagine an 8x4 sheet of plywood. So they would put it onto the router, or the router table, or whatever you call it, big machine anyway, and then they just cut all what they want out of the sheet, and then the sheet gets bucked out. Well, the sheet's still in the full size 8x4, so all the waste bits that they don't want and they can't use, it's left on the sheet. So one good friend went down uh, and got a load of it, got 2 lorry loads uh, of ply, and it took a lorry because sheets were 8x4, as I said, on a pallet, a big pallet, and we just cut the waste out of it and took all the proper stuff that we wanted from it. I have a few pieces over here. Oh, we were getting shapes that I got out of the 8x4 sheets, and a lot of them, and then getting these lengths as well. So birch ply is very dear, and it would only have been going to landfill, so it was good save on our behalf. And Uh, it makes lovely fruit. You make the pattern in it, colours, uh, so all adds up. So I'm just going to round the top of this over. Uh, the hole doesn't matter because we're going to be putting the wee stem in with a piece of contrasting wood, probably darker wood. I think that's what I put in the last ones. So you don't have to be really fussy here. You just want to roll it over a wee bit. Take it easy because I'll weaken this somewhat, and if we take it too much, it could just break off. Just round it off roughly, and then give it a quick sand to finish it off. The hole doesn't really matter because I'm going to drill a pilot hole through that to put the stem in, and that will take care of that. What I'm looking for, that's 240, 120, and you can make it as wide here as you want on the neck of it. There's no right and wrong because if you look at a pear, it's not 100% true. It's all over the place, but it's just a rough representation of a pear. And just go down through the grits. Right, where's that wee bit of? Just hit that again with the Yorkshire grit, and clean that up. And we taste the wax. Right, so we can now part this off, and you want to sort of leave a flattish bottom on it so that it sits up. Well, I want this one to sit up. And there it goes. A load of dents in it. Oh god, where'd it go? I should have cut that sooner. That's alright, there's no dents in it. So we have one pear, and at the bottom of it, don't take too much off it because you've only got a couple of layers of wood glued together to hold it here. Just take enough, that'll allow you to get the gouge in to round your bottom over. just need to bring the top of that down a wee bit. We'll stop and have a wee look at that. It needs a wee bit sand. Right, take it away now and just clean that up. The more I cut away at this, the weaker it'll get, you see, because it's only laminated. There you are. And it's off. So that's that part done. So I'm going to make a third, and I'll bring you back when I'm going to do the wee plate, the wee dish I'm going to make out of this here, a wee bit of American tulip. They're not great bits of timber, you can see. There's not really much you can do with them. They're not overly an awful lot of turning in this, but I wanted to show you the whole process, you know. Just want to make it big enough to fit in the hole. And that goes in okay. Get your Sharpie. You want to stay on the black. Oh. glued that one. Okay, we'll stick that in when we get all three made. So that's all three stems made. Find the center. Oh. So that's their center there. Right. So that's roughly what it says it is. Right. You can go about this a couple of different ways. I'm going to put it between centers here. You could put a glue block on this. You could put a worm screw into it. But that's all we need. Hopefully that'll fit into the chuck. There we are. We're in the chuck. So I'll get an R recess on this, and right, so we're going to make this the bottom. I'm going to try and true this up a wee bit. It's wobbling all over the place. I like to use the bowl gouge, or the roughing gouge. I know you're not meant to use it on bowl work, but it's not really bowl work. It's just sort of leveling this out for me. With the switch cameras. See what. and just slightly bevel on the bottom underneath. I'll just stop that and see how much of a bevel I have. I'll just change that back and you can see it too. So you can see it here. We're beveled out a good bit. So that's not bad. I don't want. Right, that's that sounded the 400. So we'll get this dusty. Just a sand sealer on that. Right, so that's the base done. I'll now turn it around and see if we can get a nice better cut for this. And you can tell straight away when tools are sharp, they cut a lot better. Oh, that's better. Hardly any tear out at all. There's a wee bit there towards us. Now you have to remember, I have a recess in the back of this, so I want to watch them at depth or it could end up going through the bottom. Yeah, I think that would do. Right. I'm not going to bore you too much with the sanding off this. I'll bring you back on a ready to put the finish on it. Okay, guys. I'll be going through the grits, starting with 120.